Hello everyone, welcome to Mr. Kop's channel, and our today's topic is Paytm Payments Bank. Okay, the red hot topic and in the news as of now. So before we go ahead with this, so a quick intro about me is that I am a member of the ACCA body and I hold a master's degree in finance and accounting. I have 6+ years of experience in corporate finance and accounting, and my skill sets includes financial reporting, analysis, process improvement, standardization, advanced Excel, VB, and stuffs like that. So, yep, quickly diving into this case study around Paytm Payments Bank. So, let me highlight the issue to make it more evident. It is Payments Bank, okay? Because a lot of buzz is there around Paytm, but people are missing this payments, okay? Even RBI has been using this term Paytm Payments Bank. The concern is around Payments Bank, okay? So, yep, so let's first see what RBI has said. So, RBI has issued a directive restricting Paytm Payments Bank again, okay, Paytm Payment Bank account and wallet from accepting new deposits or allowing credit transactions after March 15, 2024. So this is the revised date. The prior date was 29th of February, but this was further pushed by 15 days, and now it is 15th March 2024. However, there is no restriction on withdrawal of money from your existing account balance even after 15th of March. Okay, so even if you are having balance in your Paytm account, Paytm Payments Bank account, you can still withdraw it even beyond 15th of March. Okay, there's no such restriction on that withdrawal. So, yep. So before let's make this clear first of all. Like there are a lot of people who use Paytm application for just making transactions via UPI, right? So if you just use Paytm application and make and do UPI payments to vendors, to friends, to family, then and because UPI is linked to some other bank, okay? Suppose you're having a bank account in HDFC and you link that to your Paytm via UPI, and then you make transactions. So then this those kind of uh because Paytm customers are not involved in this, are not under the concern of RBI. Okay, so the concern is with people who are using payments bank. Okay, so let's first understand what is a payments bank. Even if you see a few of the news reports, they have been just making it as Paytm highlights. Okay, they haven't mentioned like it is Paytm's payment bank, whereas RBI has been doing so. Paytm's bank, it has to be Paytm Payments Bank. Payments Bank. Okay, so let's understand what is this Payments Bank, and then we'll come back about what is going on with Paytm. Because without understanding the Payments Bank, it is difficult to understand the kind of fraud or the money laundering which would be possible or how it would be possible. Okay, because if you see the other users who are doing UPI transactions using Paytm Bank, they're already having KYC done with their original bank. Okay, so tracking those transactions would be easy. Okay, but this is about Payments Bank. So the Nishikeet More Committee. So this committee was like first formed in 2013 and was headed by Mr. Nishikeet More himself, and in the presence of the then governor, RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan. Okay, so and it was formed in 2013. Now the same committee has also issued the directives. Okay, for this one. So the payments bank was set up to operate on a smaller scale and with minimum credit risk. Okay, so I'll just highlight. So payments bank was set up to operate on a smaller scale with minimal credit risk. On a smaller scale, okay, the main objective of this whole payments bank was to advance financial inclusion by offering banking and financial services to the unbanked, okay, to the unbanked and to the underbanked areas, okay, which would help people like migrant workers, low income household, and small entrepreneurs. Okay, so it was the motive was to help these people because these people don't make a high value transactions. The amount of the like the value of the transactions are low. Okay, and also they are not having enough exposure to the today's banking facilities and financial services. So this committee, the RBI, and with the committee they decided to go ahead with this and bring and take the services to the rural people as well. Okay, so this was a motive, but things didn't work out well with Paytm. So just few more things like this Paytm banks are fall under the Regulation of Companies Act 2013 and are also governed by a host of legislation like the Banking Regulation Act, the RBI Act, the Foreign Exchange Management Act, Payment and Settlements Act. So there's a lot of acts governing these banks. So in India, there are currently six payments bank. Okay, Paytm is not the only one, and the first one was the Airtel Payments Bank. The first payments bank was the Airtel Payment Bank, and then there are many more. You can see it here. So let's understand the features of payments banks. So these banks are not the orthodox, the conventional banks. These are different than those. Okay. So one of the features is like these are not the universal banks. These are different than the conventional banks. Okay. One second. Yeah, these are different than the conventional banks, and these operate on a smaller scale. Okay, these operate on a smaller scale means they cover the rural areas. Okay, and they are also having certain limits. We'll come into this. Okay, we'll come into that. And to start this such banks, you need to have like an institution or capital of like 100 crore INR is required. Okay, to start this such payments bank. Okay, and the promoter, whoever is the promoter of the payment bank, need to hold at least 40% of the stakes in this bank for at least 5 years. Okay, and so in this case, in the case of Paytm, the founder Vijay Shekhar Sharma holds 51%. Okay, so this is the person, he holds 51% stake and he is the promoter. Okay, whereas the 197 Communication is the parent of the Paytm. So this is the parent company which holds 49% and it is not a promoter. Okay, it is not a promoter. Okay, so yeah, so all the conditions satisfied, and so they run the payments bank. Now what are the activities which the payments bank can perform? So payments bank can only take deposits. Okay, they can only and only take deposits, and the limit for that is also there. A limit is like a 200 2 lakhs. Okay, sorry, the limit is 2 lakhs. They can take deposits up to rupees 2 lakhs. I should put it like the day's ending balance, the closing balance per merchant or per individual should be not more than 2 lakhs. Okay, you can have deposits during the day of more than 2 lakhs, but your closing balance should be 2 lakhs. You can withdraw the additional funds which are there in your account or put it to some other payments account or normal conventional bank account, but you should withdraw. The closing balance should be 2 lakhs. Okay, it all these banks also accept demand deposits in the forms of savings and current accounts, so they are also given the hand to have current accounts. The money received, now how these banks function is like the money which they receive as deposits, because they don't lend. Okay, we'll see that they receive, they further invest those deposits with the government into the government securities in the form of statutory liquidity ratio. Okay, in the form of statutory liquidity ratio, and this amount which the deposit must amount to 75% of the total demand deposit balance, and the remaining 25% they can place it in time deposit and with other scheduled commercial banks. Okay, so 75% with the government and into the government securities, and 25% into other banks. Okay, so these payment banks basically takes deposit. So let's just put it like this. So this payment bank will take deposits from the customer. It takes deposits 75%. Oops, 75% it puts with the government and 25% with other banks, Okay, now and payments bank will be permitted to make personal payments and receive cross-border remittances on current accounts. Since they're having current accounts, so some facilities for current accounts are there, because current accounts are held by businesses, small merchants and people like that. Okay, and they also give issue debit cards, only debit cards, no credit cards. Okay, now what these payments banks are not allowed to do. Okay, they these banks are, since they are differentiated from the conventional banks. Okay, and the license which RBI issues them is also different than the conventional banks, hence they cannot lend. Okay, these banks cannot lend. Okay, they can just take deposits. Okay, they also cannot issue credit cards. These banks also cannot issue credit cards, and they cannot set up subsidiaries. Okay, okay, to take non-financial activities. Now just understand, as we said, they have a capping of 200 uh 200 sorry 2 lakhs. They are having a capping of 2 lakhs. Okay. Now, why is it put in place? Because if there is no capping, then the payment bank will not be motivated or not be, restricted to the rural people or the underbanked areas or unbanked areas, because it is in those areas only where the transactions and the balances will be as low as 2 lakhs. Okay, if you come to the urban area, the transaction volume will be high, the closing balance will be high. Okay, if you don't restrict, put a cap on that, then these banks will quickly move to the urban areas again, and again the motive of this having this payment bank will not be served. Okay, so that is why this capping is there. Okay, and that is why government non-banking so it doesn't provide undertake non-banking financial activities. Okay, so doesn't have subsidiaries and all, because if you have subsidiaries, your cost will go up. Okay, more services you provide, you need to have more uh, people employed, banks also need to think, like the payments bank also need to think that they're dealing with a set of people who are in the rural area, they don't have much exposure, so offering them a lot of financial services will not benefit because they are not aware about it, they don't know how to take benefit of it, or they don't understand it to the extent the urban people understand. So that is why all those restrictions are there to safeguard people and the cost. Okay, so now coming to the advantages of having payments bank. Okay, like the very motive, expansion of rural banking and financial inclusions, expansion of the formal financial system, so it was just limited to the urban areas, now it expands to the rural areas. Okay, effective alternative to the commercial banks. Commercial bank are not motivated to go to the rural areas, set up banks in branches there and provide services to the people there. So it's an alternative to commercial bank to those areas, and it efficiently deals with low volume, okay, and low value and high volume transaction. Okay, the value will be low here and high volume transaction. A lot of people there will use this. Once they use this, the volume of transaction will go up, but still the value will stay low. Okay, to some extent, and these people will have access to diversified services as well. Okay, so they will also get these banking services and get to know this and get the know-how about it. Now the certain challenges which are faced is the lack of awareness among the masses as of now. Like urban people are not much aware about these. Okay, these are the people who are educated, literate, knowledgeable, and they look into newspapers and they see things. Okay, if they are not aware, just think how people in the rural area be aware. So the lack of awareness is there. Okay, lack of awareness is one of the challenge. Now we will see how the bank functions. So banks, all these payments bank also have agents which help them. So in some way the agents are also not incentivized, so they are also not motivated enough in terms of the commission which they get, and for taking the services into the roots of the rural India. Okay, the lack of infrastructure is obviously there, and technological hurdles are there. Okay, because the internet, you need internet services. These banks doesn't exist physically. Okay, they have small branches and very limited branches, so you need more people to use online banking and mobile phones and internet. And rural people, if they don't have smartphones and the internet, then they cannot use these services provided by the payments bank, so technological hurdles are obviously there. Now, you must be thinking, like, if the bank is completely online and everything happens online, then how the rural people deposit their money? Okay. So, yep, it is online. Most of things happens online. And, but there is an option, seeing the kind of customer payments bank have, there is an option to take cash deposits. Now, cash deposit process for payments bank. Okay. Now, one can deposit cash at bank branch. Okay. Now, obviously I said there are bank branches, but those are very limited, but still they are there, so you can go and people can go and deposit their cash, or people can use ATM, any ATM, and they can go and deposit their money or deposit funds online, or like somebody else is transferring money to your account, so that is also fine. Now, how does the payments bank account look? So whatever is your mobile number, okay, whatever is your mobile number will be your bank account number. Payments bank account number. Okay, so this will be same. So yeah, so to deposit cash, now there's a process. Okay, how to deposit cash? To deposit cash into your payments bank account, you can visit any nearby payments. Paytm's payment bank branch, okay, payments bank branch you can visit, or there are business correspondents. So these are basically agents, okay, who are running small units like in some shop kind of a setup, okay. So these are people. So if a rural person takes his money and his account details, then that person can simply go to that shop or to that branch, basically to that agent, okay, and provide him the bank details in which, or the account details in which he wants or she wants the money to be deposited, and provides the hard cash, okay, the paper money to that person, and that person takes the details and the money and puts that money, transfers that money basically to that person's bank account. So this is how the cash deposit happens into the payments bank, okay, where there are person taking the cash, taking the details, and that person is depositing that money into that rural person's bank account, payments bank account. Now, if you think the other banks make money, right? Other than bank makes money because of the interest arbitrage, okay, where they give less interest, but they take more interest from the borrowers, right? So they lend high and they take deposit at a lower rate. But these banks, payments bank, they just take deposits, no lending. So how do they make money? So they basically, these banks, as I said, they put money 75% with the government into the government securities, and 25% with the commercial banks. So the interest with which these banks get, the payment banks gets from these sources, is higher than what they give to the rural people, okay. So again, there is a, a spread in between, which fetches money to the payments bank. There are other ways as well, like payment bank earns money from transaction fees on banking activity. So if a customer is making some sort of a transaction, a deposit or withdrawal, whatever you do, you deposit, you withdraw, you transfer money, a certain fee will be charged, a transaction fee on banking activities on the customers. I know this sounds a little harsh because these people are already making low value transactions, rural people, but still they have to pay additional charges. But that is how to incentivize these banks. So that is how it is. And these banks also make money through cross selling charges, like they sell their other products as well, like insurance, fixed deposits, and stuffs like that, okay. And they also, these banks also make money, cross selling is there, make money, earn treasury income or deposits. So the treasury incomes, like as we said, 75% they deposit with the government. So there also they make some, you know uh, money there, investing into government T-bills, okay. And additional services, as I said, remittance, insurance, and other financial services. So these is how these banks are incentivize and make more money, okay. Now, since now we know how this payment banks work, now let's see what are the concerns of Paytm Payments Bank, okay. Now, as we said, like there are this agents in place, okay. These people are there in small shops, okay. So doing KYC is a big challenge there, okay. People doesn't know how to use internet, people don't have smartphones, or even if they have, they're not aware about the procedure, what documents to submit and all, okay. The awareness is not there, the know-how is not there, so all those things adds up to this, okay. But still, the people on the bank side should create that awareness, or should comply, they have to comply with the rules and regulations, okay. Because if they reject someone's application once or twice, or they need to go to that person, explain, send the agent to that person, or make the agent help that person do to complete the KYC, but that is not happening. So money laundering concerns and questionable dealings of hundreds of crores. If you see, the limit is just 2 lakhs, right? But transactions have been happening in crores of rupees. So you just think, although the thing, this payments bank is running in rural areas, but are these people who are doing this transaction belong to rural? Or there's someone who's taking advantage of this thing, right? So these are the kind of concerns which the RBI is happening, okay. And so hundreds of crores of rupees between popular payment wallet payments and lesser known banking arms, which I said, the payments bank, which is not yet so popular. So yeah, there's a lakhs of accounts which are non KYC compliant, okay. And in thousands of cases, a single PAN were used opening multiple accounts. Just think, one PAN card, one government document identification document has been used for opening multiple thousands of accounts. It means something, someone is for sure trying to do something fishy in the backend. Okay, so that transactions happen, and you are not able to trace who is doing the transaction, except that one person who will be caught, and that person might not be aware that certain things are happening in his or her name, right? because that PAN card might actually be of a genuine person who is from the rural area, but this benefit of this doing all the fishy things being done by some other guy who is well aware of the system and the loopholes and doing all these things. Okay, so another instance where a lot of fraud can happen. And there are instances, so next point, there are instances where total value of transactions running into crores of rupees, as I said earlier, much beyond the limit. So this is something which we already discussed according to an analyst, so some source. Okay, so Paytm Payments Bank has about 35 crores e-wallet. E-wallet here means the bank account. Okay, 35 crore e-wallets. Okay, out of which 31 crore are dormant. Okay, dormant means the transaction or this account, these accounts were used once in a while, long time ago, and no more transaction, no more activity is there, has been happened for a long time. So these accounts have become dormant. Okay, and only about 4 crore would be operative with either no balance. I'll just highlight, with either no balance or small balance. Now, out of this 4 crore, okay, these banks are having no balances or a very small amount of balances. Now, as of now, 31 crore is dormant. It may be possible some recent transaction happened in this 4 crore account, and a large portion of this will also join this dormant account in coming days' time. Okay. So if we see actual accounts, accounts of genuine people are either very less, or somehow the payments bank are getting them registered, but these people are not at all aware what to do with that. Okay. Now, the another thing with the dormant accounts is like an unusually high number of dormant accounts are prone to have used a mule accounts. Now, what are mule accounts? Mule accounts are like account which is used for transferring money from one source to another. Like I got the money from source A, it got parked into my account, and then it got transferred either in the form of a bank transfer, a wire transfer, or I took the money out of my account in cash, and I then transferred it to some B person. Okay, so this is called a mule account. Now the mule, the person's account, the person whose account is being used as a transfer account, okay, can either be aware about these things or can be completely unaware about these things, how his or her account can be used for some illegal activities. Okay, now we need to again understand these people are rural peoples. Okay, they're not exposed to such kind of technical things. So people can tell them, okay, I'll transfer you 1 lakh rupees, you keep 5,000 and transfer this 95,000 further to person B. Okay, so these kind of things can happen, and whose PAN card is registered is that person in between, and the people at the other two end are also using his or her PAN card for getting themselves registered and doing all the transactions. So they go unidentified altogether. The person in the middle, the unaware person, is caught at all the places. So this is how the frauds will happen. Okay, someone innocent will get caught in all this rat race or whatever you call it. So there are major irregularities in KYC which expose the customers, depositors, and wallet holders to serious risk. So the genuine people are at risk, and the fraudsters are all enjoying it. So these are the kind of concerns, major concerns are there, due to which RBI has taken such tough actions. Now, because of this, there's been a series of activities and uh, events because of which Paytm is losing trust, and it's serious. So if I see few of the activities starting from 18, so there have been events before this, but let's start from 2018. So in June 2018, the RBI, stopped Paytm's Payments Bank, okay, from opening new customer accounts. But in 2019 January, they again, asked them to, you can resume it. Maybe some sort of a negotiation might have gone. Now, again, in October 2021, RBI imposed a 1 crore rupee fine on them for the violation of laws pertaining to payments and settlements. Again, certain violation, but again, by like in 2021 itself, RBI detected some serious KYC anti-money laundering violation, and this thing was persisting. Okay, this thing is not stopping at Paytm, like in Paytm, it is continuously happening. Okay, and yep. Also, going forward, the complaints submitted by the bank were found to be the compliances. Sorry, the compliances. The bank has to comply with certain rules and regulations. So whatever compliances they promised to do were all incomplete or false. Were all incomplete or false. Again, in March 2022, RBI imposed supervisory restrictions on PPBL, and this came in after an external audit. Okay, and I mean, RBI wanted them to conduct an audit and to get these things. to get a true picture of this. Okay. So a lot of, and they also again stopped onboarding new customers with immediate effect in March 2022. Okay. So again in October 2023, the RBI imposed another a big penalty on them of rupees 5.39 crores, again because of continued, let's highlight this, continued non-compliance with KYC. And the most recent one on 31st of January, the order came from the central bank RBI that Paytm's Payment Bank Limited was asked to stop further deposit and blah blah blah, which we have already discussed in the very beginning. This date is revised to 15th of March. 15th March. Okay. So what are the repercussions of all this? If you see the parent company, whose one of the brand is Paytm, 197 Communication Limited, their shares has been falling down like drastically on 19th of Jan 2024. If you see their share price, well, was trading at 773, and today at 16th of February, it is trading at 341. Okay, it has dropped by like some 55%. If you see another analysis, like on 31st of January itself, the trade, it was trading at 761, and by 18th it is trading at 341. A fall of 55% in a matter of 18 days has been seen. Okay. Also, if you compare this with the IPO, from the IPO time, at the time of IPO, when the Paytm's IPO, the market capitalization of 197 was INR 1.4 lakh crores, 1.4 lakh crores. And today on 18th Feb 2024, the market capitalization is 21,690 crores, a fall by 1.2 lakh crores. Okay, since then, 1.2 lakh crore. See the number. So not sure where is the future of payments bank and the Paytm's payment bank. Only the future will tell. So thank you for watching this video, and let me know how, if this was helpful to you to understand the whole topic, and please leave your feedback. Thank you so much.